Good afternoon or evening, YouTubers. It's Lyric here. I'm getting ready to go to bed, but I wanted to read this new poem that I wrote the other day. Sometimes we are not able to articulate in words what we want to say to people who we love. And so this poem was a way of me expressing some things that were going on inside of my mind with my anxiety and kind of how my mind works. And I wanted to share this poem and really just encourage people out there for 2019 who deal with mental illness. I have put on my my mirror wall, I guess my mirror motivation is what I call it, that I would be healed from anxiety and depression. And so there were some things that I struggled with in 2018. However, for this year, I am saying that I will not allow this to control me. It is something that is a part of me and within me, but at the same time, it is not who I am. It does not define me. And so this is something that this poem is something that will articulate a little bit of what people who are dealing with it and let you know that there is hope and let you know that there is also a way out. Writing is my outlet, and you can also have an outlet as well. So the title of this poem is called Daymares, kind of like nightmare, but daymare. Daymares appear more real than nightmares. If you could see inside of my mind, you wouldn't be afraid of your nightmares, because they don't compare to the realness of the rarities explained within a mind that loops around the entire earth within 1 minute. Consistent torture of twisting, unbearable torture of a prefrontal cortex so warped that sometimes it can't even tell you what day it is, and when disoriented and disconnected, it resembles a degenerative brain disorder fungus that wraps around the brain, replicating itself over and over. My own personal hell is experiencing the same thought replay itself in a million different ways with the same outcome over and over, because what you can't control is another's actions. Praying and wishing for a mental escape through sleep, only for you to sleep and find that your daymare is still waiting for you in your dream. Deepest fears manifest into mountains of malware, a dysfunctional language between lost in translation, a broken area combined with the symphony of somniloquy. When I awake, my brain is a walking nightmare. When I'm asleep, my brain is a dreaming virus filled with malware, a roller coaster conundrum that can't seem to reboot itself, held hostage to persistent perspiration on my hands, forehead. Even my heart perspires for ideas to retire. Choose a side already. My body temperature is at a constant lukewarm. At the highest climax, my brain erupts into itself, causing perspiration to evaporate, and it's God's cool, gentle breeze overwhelms me, holds me, consoles me. He loves me, tells me you did great today. And it has not won. It will never win as long as I have you. Something bigger has me. I am reminded that this suffering cannot always last forever, for my DNA is encoded with and encrypted with return to sender. Return back to heaven where I belong, and I long await like to just breathe. Daymares. So this poem really embodies kind of what I deal with as far as getting an inside look as to how I even feel like sometimes to escape from my own brain, I need to just go to sleep. However, even in my brain, we know from a psychological standpoint in psychology that our deepest desires and motivations are manifested in our dreams. And so even the obsession and the racing thoughts and all of those things still exist within my dreams. And so I still find myself when I try to sleep dealing with some of the same stuff that I deal with during the day. And so sleeping doesn't help. And so I wrote this so that it could help somebody, so that you would know that you're not dealing with this alone, and that at the end of the day, our DNA, as I said, is encoded with return to sender. If you don't believe in God, or if you feel as though it's some, being that's just up in the sky, and you don't truly believe that, I ask that you give God a chance, and that you truly step out on faith, period, and trust God. Trust something bigger than what you've been trusting with your anxiety, your mental illness. Trust something bigger than yourself, because this world is a whole lot bigger than what goes on up in here. So if you're willing to trust something bigger than yourself, I pray that you trust God, and that you don't allow what goes on in here and what yourself and what the enemy plants in your mind to control you. Mental illness is real, and it is something that people struggle with. It's something that I do struggle with, but it does not own me, and it will not own me this year. And for the rest of my life, it will not own me, and I refuse to be defined by it. So my name is not anxiety. My name is Shanice Taylor. It is Lyric, as people know me as. So I am who God says I am. And so I just want to encourage you for this week. Trust God, and don't let your daymares or nightmares keep you from your dreams, keep you from the things in this life that you want. And if you don't know a way to express how you're feeling, you can use YouTube, you can use poetry, you can use working out, you can use so many different avenues to try and get that sense of expression out, to deal with your issues in a productive way, other than self-destructive stuff such as sleeping too much, or drinking, or whatever it is that you use, because at the end of the day, those things are still waiting for you in your sleep, waiting for you after you sober up, and reality's always there. So don't allow those things to control you. You are bigger than the problems that you face, and God is bigger than the problems that we all face, because he created us and he has the manual for our lives. So I pray that you have a great week, and a peaceful week, and a joyful week, and that your week is triumphant. And you guys have a good night. Peace.